Rory came home the other day and he asked me, why do I listen to Eminem? And there's these moments in fatherhood, right, where you know he's gotten smart enough that if you lie to him, he'll know. And I've built up a lot of credibility with my kid. You know, we work hard at being honest, and I expect honesty from him. And so when he asks me a question, I have to work really hard to be honest as well. And there are boundaries in questions, but sometimes it's hard to explain things to a 6-year-old, almost 7. But I said to him that one of the reasons I listen to Eminem, and that he shouldn't, because it's not age appropriate for him, just like a lot of movies and art and, well, maybe not. I don't know, there's lots of things that aren't appropriate for him. And at this age, Eminem's one of them. But the truth is, I do listen to Eminem. I listen to a lot of Eminem. And I listened to him when I was a kid, with my parents yelling at me, trying to get it off my ghetto blaster. And I've listened to it a lot in the last couple of years. Eminem's album Recovery was integral to some real transformative months for me, where I took a long, hard look at myself. And just like the cover of my book that I explained to Rory is a piece of art by Michelangelo that depicts something awful and had an awful moment when Michelangelo tried to destroy it, Marshall Mathers takes a long, hard look at life and says things that go on in my head but probably wouldn't come out of my mouth. And I know I'm not alone. And I know that he won't be alone. And so I don't want to lie to him and say he should never listen to this kind of music, because that's bullshit. He's not ready yet. And maybe it'll never be his cup of tea, but it is mine. And I'll have hard conversations about that. But you know, one of the mistakes I made at the very end of publishing my book, when I gave acknowledgments to the different authors and theologians and people who had inspired me, I really should have put Marshall down, because his music does inspire me. He is a lyrical genius. He faces some of the hardest topics that you could ever imagine, with people hating him to the deepest degrees. And many will tell me he deserves it. But he's for real. He's learned who he is and makes no apologies for it, and has continually bettered himself as a man and as a father. And so, as I get to this day, this day of the epilogue for me, December 12th. Anyone who's read my book will know what that means, all, 12 of you. I laid something big down today. And I think when you do that, you have to say to yourself, are you really going to be the authentic you now? Or are you just going to make more excuses?